What's up guys, this is Homject, and today I've got an exclusive look at Halo 5, some illegal content I got on the black market, just filming in the windows of 343. No, obviously I'm kidding, this is some Halo 5 beta gameplay, Strongholds game type, which I really liked, and I want to talk more about that later, but here we are in October. Halo 5 is less than a month away, it's so close, and I'm really ready to play it again. I just want to shoot that battle rifle, I want to play on those maps again. I want to try Warzone. I'm a big fan of those more complex objective game types or tiered games like Invasion and Halo Reach. Loved that. And Warzone is going to be 24 players, double what Invasion was. And huge maps. It's really great when they add like a new experience to a video game like Warzone. We've never had anything that huge with multiple objectives, bosses, all this crazy stuff. Instead of adding something into multiplayer like armor abilities that a lot of people didn't end up liking, they build a whole new thing. It's kind of like how Firefight was in ODST. It was a great addition to Halo, and I think Warzone will be that too. And at the same time, it's not going to interfere with the competitive aspect of like 4v4 Halo. Which I can use as a really smooth segue into talking about this gameplay, which is Strongholds on the map Regret. And the reason I kept it is I'm playing against a couple people I recognize. Wasp Almighty used to be Lieutenant Wasp. He was always up there on the stats websites like Halo Charts, Halo Tracker. And a couple of his buddies, Boo on Live, I know I played in Reach. And his other two teammates are Poxy and Zeppelin. And it was just a good, exciting game overall. I didn't do that great. I went positive. I played the objective a lot. I did get lucky to get a few good teammates though. And, like I said, it was just a fun game to play and not playing against thumbless idiots. I also really like the Strongholds game type, especially because only one team can be scoring at once. Alright, there's 3 strongholds. If you control 2 of them, then your team is getting points. If you only control 1, you're not. And if you control all 3, you get some extra points. But the last 30 seconds or a minute of this game, my team is actually at 99. We only need 1 more point, but we're not getting any points because we only have 1 stronghold. You can't just... If you've got a good lead, you can't just sit back on 1 objective point, 1 stronghold. You've got to keep the pressure on to keep getting points. So I think that's a really neat dynamic in this game. Kind of a twist on the territories game type, but makes it more exciting, makes for some epic comebacks because it doesn't really matter how many points your team is down. If you can play solidly enough to control 2 of the objectives, you can come right back. There's no point at which you should give up because, it's like, oh, the other team is almost won. All they need to do is control 1 out of 3 strongholds, which is easy. No, they're always going to need 2 to win. So I like that. Another thing with Halo 5, the DLC maps are going to be free. So they've announced the number of maps they're going to release over the next year. It's pretty good, and it's just amazing that the DLC is free. I guess they see the problem with so few people buying the DLC a few months after the game comes out, and it just splits the player base, and it makes matchmaking a lot harder because it has to look for other people who have the DLC, and it just makes matchmaking take longer, and you get lower quality connections and stuff like that, which no one wants. So that's a huge move by them to try a new thing, just giving out free maps. And I mean, maps are one of the most important parts of making a shooter fun and keeping it fresh, because I want to say it's almost more important than core gameplay, but that's probably not true. But just looking back at Halo 2 and 3, pretty much every map that would come up in matchmaking, I was like, alright, I'm excited to play this. And it was the rare exception that I didn't like a map. And then through Halo Reach and 4, it kind of flipped to the opposite, where most of the maps were like mediocre, and there were only a couple that I was excited to play, that was really sad. Luckily, Halo has Forge, so community members can make more maps, but a game's gotta ship with some fun maps to play, otherwise it's gonna die out. But, I mean, I've watched some of the multiplayer gameplay for Halo 5, and from what I've seen, the maps look pretty good. I'm so glad they have the pro team working at 343 to help with, you know, gameplay balance, map design, all that kind of stuff, because even if you're not a pro player, I think you still benefit from balanced maps, and ones that work for competitive gameplay also work better for casual gameplay. But I think that's about it. That's all I had in mind for this video. I hope you liked it, and I will talk to you in the next video. See ya!